start to catch it up to your present life. Start thinking about the moments that you might be missing in your day-to-day. Waking up to a sunrise. Laying your head down after a long day. And on the last few breaths, you just start to release the things in your day-to-day that just don't matter that much. It's just stuff. And then I can do a prayer. I'm not good at that. Maybe you can lead the prayer. Maybe.
I think you're great at it, man.
All right, I'll just do it real fast. When I come out of it, I usually will keep going in this moment, and maybe just even for 2 or 5 minutes, I'll just start a prayer. Dear Lord,
praying is one of those things where, like, I'm glad you asked to, or you didn't ask. You're sharing your experience, like as a part of that meditation. That's what I do. I do as well. It's like I was already doing it in that last part when you connected the breath to God, right? And I started like really getting into from the heart, and man, that was beautiful. And then you asked to close the prayer with a prayer, and it's what I do every night. Or try to every night, and like that visualization exercise. And I typically like visualize the next day, and then when my mind wanders into wherever it goes, I don't sit there and obsess about it. It actually just anchors me to come back to God in that moment, and then I pray. But that was, and then people say this, but like, don't ever say you're sorry for praying out loud for others, like it's hard to not say, because our heart is set on from a position of wanting to do good and for God and make him proud, right? But then the flesh, one of the enemies, like the world, the other enemy as well, like our flesh is telling us that others are judging the words that we're using and saying, and it's not even about the words. It's about the intention of the prayer, and
yep.
So no matter anyone that asks to publicly pray, like I'm like, yeah, man, no, that's you. That's why I encourage people to do it in the fellowship.
Yeah, I want to practice doing it more.
Because it's so powerful. Like the power of prayer collectively too. It's just, I'm a believer in it for sure. And you can't mess it up. Like people are like, oh yeah, I messed that up, or I said it wrong, or I didn't say this, or I should have said, like, man, no, but God knows exactly where your heart is. And all he wants is a relationship with us. And that's how we communicate, internally and externally, that relationship. And he's so proud of that. He's so proud of you for doing that. And so we just have to get ourselves out of the way in that moment and just do it. Like that,
Yeah.
that small still voice is what I'm saying. Like you felt the tense, like my mind going 1,000 miles an hour before you asked to do, you gave me a hug, and then we did the little meditation thing and the prayer. It was beautiful. That's why I was crying.
Releasing just stuff,
It was just gratitude, man. Like I was crying because of gratitude.
Yeah.
Like that guided meditation, man, was beautiful. It was
Nice.
absolutely beautiful.
Dude, I was really ecstatic you got something out of it.
I was in the boat, dude.
Yeah.
I was in the boat. So welcome back to the Blk Blu Podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Morgan, a.k.a. Schmelta Force. And this is my guest host, Chris Fettes, a.k.a.
Seal Cream 6.
Boom, dude, let's go. For our viewers, I'm sure they'll like that. No, we're glad to have you back on the show.
Thank you.
obviously we just experienced a bit of the behind the scenes and on the front side of this. I think just being obedient when we are anxious, when we have so much stress in our lives, like having a place to express it in a way, like internalizing it will start to just destroy you, consume you. Knowing when to release it to someone else and to God, but also knowing when to hold it in too, right? There's times where maybe I've projected a lot of my stress, and that's also, there's just that balance. And it always comes back to the breath, right? It just does. And for you to guide us through that little meditation was beautiful, man, because I needed that.
Right in the middle of that, she's
because,
like, "Oh, whatever that one song."
I needed that because God knew that was going to happen, because we have a live audience again, and she's on Instagram or something, and Starship's not happy. No, we got our last week's guest over there, Erica Morgan, aka Is Sweet,
the boss.
But the breath, man, like bringing it back to the breath, and then centering, right, the mind and the body, like the breath, and then opening up that space, because, man, I just love meditation because it opens up this space in my heart to truly like connect at such a deeper level with God and with everyone else after that, right? Like it's because I was a little anxious coming into this, just because there's a lot on my mind, and I'm tired and all those things from the course, which we'll talk about that some more too. But I was in the boat, man.
Yeah,
I was in the boat,
dude. I needed that too. Like lately, I have been. If you don't have some way to offload it, the stuff, that's just weighing you. It's just what's creating all of your tension and your, my shortness sometimes is like, because it's the lifestyle I wanted. Like I said, I wanted to be busy. I wanted to be doing something that I felt was important, in life. And so this is part of it. But if I don't have a way to offload it, if I'm not at jujitsu or hitting the punching bag or something, I'm like, or breathing, then I sometimes I'm like not even that aware how much I'm venting to other people or projecting it to them. It's like I can sense it sometimes when I'm like just taking an opportunity to vent something, and it's starting to make them feel tense too. And you're like, okay, sorry. That's when it becomes drama per se,
Yeah.
And it's not, your life is not drama, right? It just becomes that, I think, when, because I can say your issues are the things you're stressed out about or worried about. If you offload it to me, I'm like, oh, that feels like drama. But when it's mine, it's my life. It's not drama, And so that's where the venting and projection comes just all around, I think, going on. And so I try to focus on seeing opportunities for offloading, not on people. And sometimes people are there for that. The right ones are like, hey, vent. I'm ready for it. I want to help by absorbing the vent, by listening. But in our day to day, most people, like, we just don't, have time or energy to do that. So it just becomes a drama, but it's not. It's your life,
Yeah, that goes back to like last week's episode, or maybe it was the week before, but where Erica was the guest host, and that unsolicited feedback, right? Where she just wanted to vent, man. But it's not like she came up to me and she's like, hey, I just want to vent. I'm going to tell you this story, okay?
Yeah.
Like, that's a little different. I'm not saying she was right or wrong. I'm saying I was wrong in the sense of like, not just listening to respond. I was listening to respond back then. And that's just not that, that's, praise God, because he has transformed my mind and my heart, softened my heart. And I still mess this up, but that's okay too. But it's not listening to respond. It's listening to truly like listen, man. And that's a person, when you can access that, that's a person that you can like release that stuff to, right? Think of the cups, right? So if 80% of my cup is full, or 90, and then 90% of your cup is full, and I'm like, I'm about to give you 20%. Okay. That puts you at 100, 110. That's some public math. And then that's not fair, right?
Yeah, they gotta be
now
ready
I'm
for
feeling
that.
lighter, dude. I got 60%.
But they're more,
or I got 70%, you know, now that's math. And
but your cup's overflowing now.
But that person's cup is overflowing now. So that's where, like, meeting people where they are, especially the closest people you have in your life, like realizing that let's get our cups emptier, period.
That's right.
And that's life. That's just taking control of your life, your home, your businesses, like all those things, your relationships as best you can. And maybe that's cutting relationships away. Maybe that's, you know, business, other companies and just things that are taking from you, and not necessarily because they're bad. It's just, you don't have any more to give. And the people that you care about most are the ones that you're dumping, and we're both at 90, you know, and we're dumping 30% into them, and they're overflowing. So we got to share it with other people that have volume.
That's right.
The space in it, in their cup. And in time, when we spread that out over, you know, a network of people, you know, five people, right? And now we go from 90 to 40, because we've given 10% to you and 10% over here. And now, because you have the space, right? Like, if you don't have the space, that's a different, we don't do that. But you'll never realize that unless you're actually paying attention to listening. If you actually are listening, but not to respond, I guess.
You just reminded me of one clip I saw. Yeah, I watch things when I have time, but Andrew Huberman, I think, said it. It was about, you know, hey, we're always thinking about health as little pieces, piecemealed, you know. If I eat right and I work out right for myself and I have some sort of like mobility, movement systems, like, you know, especially as we get older, keep my hips, you know, mobile and lubricated so they don't get locked up over time as we age and stuff like that. Get some sunlight, you know, supplements, all these things. It just, for me, when I think about it in that way, it seems like a lot. But one of the things he said that works really well, and I forget sometimes until moments like we just had an opportunity for, I just felt it. Hey, I feel like I need to release something before we start this show, or it's going to project into the episode, you know, negativity, right?
Yeah.
And is identifying what your stress management system is, you know, and it's not just venting or, like I said, hitting a heavy bag. You're like, yeah, you're kind of letting it out, but it might still be there after that. So for me, it's visualizing literally it as like smoke, like seeping out of my body as I breathe.
Yeah.
In like a little, it could be 3 minutes, 5 minutes, or an hour long, you know, breath work or meditation, and just literally get it off of you, like release it, like dissolve it, right? Because if I'm projecting it around to other people and they don't have some system for offloading, you just put, like you said, you just filled their cup with it.
Yeah.
And, you know, over time you identify people that have a similar method of stress management, and like that is a huge key for, you know, and for me, for being an entrepreneur, and the things that I'm getting into is like, I got to have some stress management system, or my routines. The effect it has if you don't is that my routines just start to get messed up. And then I just feel like I'm free floating around day to day.
Yeah.
I'm waking up, I got to catch up my emails, I got to get to work and fix all help with all the problems there. And like, it just feels like it never catches up if I don't have some stress management system and able to stay into a daily routine, you know, literally with alarms on my phone, you know, wake up, hey, 9 o'clock's the meeting, 10 o'clock's the phone call, 11 o'clock's the, you know, taste some ice cream, like whatever your day looks like.
It's not a bad day.
Yeah. Baseball games for the kids.
Speaking
later.
of ice cream.
I didn't bring any this time.
Yeah. No, we got told by Starship that we can't do a taste testing on the show again.
Yeah, it was a lot.
No, he was good with it. It was just us getting up, moving around so much.
Yeah.
It was problematic for
when we hit the stores, we'll do a testing. We'll just get it shipped here.
And I do want to be respectful of that too. Like, I want to get, you know, I'm excited for you, man. I'm proud of you. I'm excited for you, but I also I know where you're at with different agreements yet and all that, but definitely want to talk about whatever you're comfortable with that on that side. But I want to come back to the breath, right? Because it all comes back to the breath. in systems, routines, like you're saying, and being proactive instead of reactive in how we start our days. Because after that, it's just reacting, right? Once you step out that door, it's just reacting.
The rest of your day
Or
is
as soon as you pick
reactionary
your
after
phone
that.
up, like so. But the breath, though, because if we bring that back to the breath and the connection between the mind and the body, there's something that we always have, and that's gratitude. So if we can connect what gratitude really is, and sometimes it's all we have is that breath, but we always have it, right? And it's like, man, how much gratitude do I have for that? It should be, it's always there, right? And it's whatever's going on in your life, like you always have that. And because if you don't,
All that's left is entitlement.
well, all stuff's entitled, but if you don't have your breath, what do you have?
It's a tool.
You're dead. No, you're dead. Like you can't actually breathe. Like you have so much gratitude to just be alive, man. And I know how crazy the world and life can be, but you always have that to come back to. Mm-hmm. And you said something in that meditation that I just was like, as soon as you're talking about connecting that breath from the heart, bringing it back to the heart, and then to God. And it just reminded me of something that I've saw more recently about like breathing life into into man, right? And it is God, right? So that's the whole Yahweh, like it's like Yahweh. It's actually a breath.
Yeah, there's a rhythm to it.
Yeah, no, the sound it makes, like it's like Yahweh, like it's a name for God, and it is breath, it is life, and it's beautiful, man. You always have it. You have gratitude because of how God created us. We have the answer to anxiety, and that's gratitude, because they can't exist in that same space. You cannot be truly grateful and anxious at the same time. It's just not possible. Thank you, God. Praise God, because that's the answer out of all of our anxiety. I just experienced through that guided meditation inside of myself, because I was anxious about this and that, and the emails from earlier and like all the things, and then, but I was able to be truly grateful, and now I don't have the anxiety, because they can't exist in the same. Not that it won't come back, it will.
Yeah,
but
you
I have a way out.
You
have a way out. It's true gratitude. And if you can't think of anything to be grateful for, it's your breath, man. Because God breathed that into us.
Yeah, it's tough because I get negative too, and especially when people come at me, like I said, the opposition. Yeah. It's like the greater your cause, the greater your opposition is going to be, and you just got to know that, right? That's how the bad guy works. That's how people work.
You got three enemies.
Yeah.
And we talked about it Friday night. The world system, the systems, right? The world, culture, the flesh, your sinful nature, and those are two in the same. And then the devil. Like those are the three enemies. And you nailed it, man. The closer we come and walk with God in our life, like the more opposition we're going to face.
I've come to not learn, but I didn't want to accept this, but I think I've accepted it, is that just through my path, I try to say that's the best way I can. Is like I have now just accepted that, I don't know what the percentage is, but let's say 99% of people don't realize what we're saying. They're just kind of free floating around, projecting, and like not even having the awareness to understand the differences between gratitude and entitlement, and its actual real space inside of your body. That, if you don't have gratitude, what's left there is just negativity, entitlement, lack of self-awareness is, you just, and I'm realizing that as I move along, I actually place people around me, that are what I consider the 1%, which is just having the awareness at all, and we could tie it to God or not, because, I'm a believer, but this is more along the lines of like behaviors, and understanding is that 99% of people are just free floating. Mm-hmm. And so getting hung up on that fact doesn't help me move forward with any of the goal, any of the purpose. And then you could tie it to purpose. How many, a large percentage of the world, I think, is living without purpose and not even understanding what you're here to do, like what you're here for, And so I'm grateful that I've gotten to a point where I know what mine is just through life experience,
Mm-hmm.
in the most humble way. I'm 44 years old. I got a lot to go. So, but just gratitude for that awareness at all guides my day to day. And I feel like it's, generally continue finding success and forward movement in the purpose that I want, and it's not the end goal, the end state. The point is what I become on my way there. And I'm proud of that. And I feel happy about that. And so, finding moments of gratitude through, and then tying it to the physical realm, which is literally, stress management, in your day to day, your system of routine and your personal health,
Yeah.
So
Opposition, man. Like that's a big one to everything you're talking about, because opposition, if there's three enemies that I'm saying, and one of them's you, right?
yeah,
Sometimes the
the
opposition
biggest
is
one.
you, and that's actually almost always the case. But if you don't have this faith, which is trust, like you're just gonna blame the world because you don't trust to have faith in God. You're not going to trust to have faith in the devil. So really, what else you have to blame is everyone else.
When
Like,
I was,
that's it. So the reality of this is there's three enemies: the world, you, and the devil.
the flesh,
And it's almost a combination of all three. But the devil can't be everywhere. He is not God. He is not omnipresent. He has to pick and choose his battles. He's got an army of demons,
the
right?
targets.
But as you walk to grow closer to God, you are a target, just like our marriage. He wants to see a marriage
Crumble.
because it's a representation of God.
Yeah, and they do. And when I remember being the biggest problem for other people in my own life was when I was when I was the greatest opposition for other people around me constantly, my wife, my kids, my teammates, my, friends, family, everybody, I was at the greatest opposition with myself. So that's why that point is, I think, hugely important, is like, you gotta stop being in opposition with yourself if you want to get anywhere, with your purpose and with God.
Well, that's because, like, man, that book study that we're doing, The Wild at Heart, like that chapter we just finished, chapter 8, is a battle to fight the enemy. Because we, as men, we all have a battle to fight. We were designed that way: an adventure to go on, and a beauty to rescue. Right? Those are the three themes of the book. And I truly believe it. It's just like, who are we fighting? What is the battle that we're fighting? And in most cases, it's been myself, like you said, man. And but the beauty of that is I'm done fighting myself. That doesn't mean that I'm, not going to make mistakes or not lose sight of, and have to be reminded and humbled in a way to make, actually, that's me. I'm actually fighting myself right now, and that's, but that's also one of the enemies. So pride, ego, all these things is a daily thing, like humbling yourself and becoming a servant, a leader and a servant. And it's like, that's hard every day. But then going back to the cup analogy, like, man, if you can't give more than you have to give, and you can't take in more than you can actually hold, but we do that a lot. I did a lot in my life, and that starts with that internal, perspective, looking inward and then anchoring it to the breath, man. So here we are. Let's get ready to crumble. I was going to stand up and turn around and show this shirt.
Oh, yeah.
I'll do it anyways.
We sold out of those pretty quick. Yeah.
And it's awesome. So, every guest gets a gift. Unless they've been a guest before.
Every guest host, too?
Every guest host I got this nice Be Free Craft Cafe hat here.
Yeah.
No, we already gave you your gift, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
you got one right behind you there too from the bonus episode from Unit Solutions, man.
Yeah, man. If I'm going to be training down here, maybe just keep it there for a minute.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. I think like obviously taking a little bit of a break from your busy schedule to come down Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, Friday, and I mean you were going to come help the whole course, and we were going to do some training before that, but obviously life, and thank you for still making it happen.
Yeah, it's my honor. I appreciate it.
And you came down and helped on obviously came down Friday night, so it's great to hang out. But then Saturday we had the day 2 of the Protector Mindset 101, so I was really glad that you were there to help, but also to see, like, because the first course that obviously we trained together a long time ago. We talked about that in the other episode, but a couple of years ago, down in San Antonio, the Protector Mindset we did down there.
Yeah, that was a good one.
You were helping on that side as well, and just to see a couple of years, removed between, and
yeah, that was when I was sort of in a phase of my life where I was like, I knew what I wanted to do, and I was just finding my way there. Bouncing around, kind of doing different things that I have skills to do, like the training, and like there's only really 2 things I've identified that are my medium for purpose, and that was tactics and ice cream. So the coolest thing is, man, when you go start something and you realize, I've had to go back to people that I've worked with and for and just in the past and just apologize to them because I just didn't understand what it takes, and so when I kicked off my things, I guess my point is I'm grateful that I have the right people, back home in place for my businesses and the things I'm doing that are like running things. And as I learn business and go, hey, you fire yourself from as many things as you can, but it's got to be with the right people. That now I'm finally reached a point after so many years of that, that I can go dip out and go train with my friends or go co-host a podcast and go, here and there, because I am getting even busier with the distribution goals with the ice cream as a brand, separate from the brick and mortar business. So now it's 2 things, and that happened really quickly, and I didn't think it was going to happen. I thought I would be doing the brick and mortar for 2, 3, 4, 5 years before I even started having opportunities.
Or was a possibility kind of.
Yeah. And so it kicked off. It's worked. It's panned out so far. And, but my point is the stress of all that, like we said, the busyness of it all, that's what I asked for, and so I got to find moments, through my stress management system to remember that through all of it, or else I could just go day to day going, I never have enough time each day to accomplish what I want to accomplish. Maybe I meet the goals I wanted to get done for that day. Maybe I don't because things come up. But the point is, like, that's the lifestyle that I asked for. And so now I pray gratitude to go, thank you, God, because 3, 4, 5 years ago, I didn't understand my purpose, and I did not feel good, and I wasn't very busy. No matter how busy I thought I was, I still had time to go watch football games, right? Starship.
What did you call it the other night?
You asked me if I'm into football.
What did you say?
Fantasy football?
No.
Fantasizing football?
No. Like before we talked about fantasy football, the other night after the fellowship, we were talking about like fanaticism. Fanaticism. I was like, what?
Yeah, I'm like, it's not good, you know. So, and I'm not judging anybody because I got plenty of friends, but you know, do you know the stats for some player and their whole history of how they got there, what college they went to, all those things? Like most fans have some level of that, right? Mm-hmm. But I found that, like, man, I was like studying other people. How much time was I spending doing that? You know, I'm like, no. I would like to get in your guys' fantasy football league, but I just can't because I know it's just going to auto pick each week, and you guys are going to be pissed off, especially if I beat you. You know, because you're like, I know he's not going in and setting his roster every day, you know, every weekend. And I'm like, no, I wouldn't be. I would just be even when we draft, it would just, everyone's got to wait 5 minutes because, you know, he's not even picking his players, you know?
It's going to the last bit.
So my point is that I've identified that fanaticism doesn't work well for me if it's like I have too much to do. And so don't judge anybody. I do like to sit down and watch a baseball game when I have a chance to, but I don't have time to. If I add up all those football games a week, I'm like, I don't have time to spend 6 hours watching.
No, I agree.
So it's not a judgment.
Overly analyzed it, and I was like, I'm not a big reader, but I'm reading like all these weekly injury reports. I'm reading these like all these different advice platforms. I'm reading all the reports from it, and I'm like, man, I guess I do like to read. But it would be consuming my life, and even though now we're in a fantasy football league, and I'm actually playing Starship this week, and I'm like,
who's gonna win?
Yeah, well,
what's your lineup, Starship?
I don't even remember. I don't even have to check.
Yeah,
knowing my opponent, the opposition. He's my opposition this week.
Yeah,
Patty Mahomes did pretty good for me, but AJ Brown did not. So Saquon did though. But anyways,
but you are busy, so busy. When you're the entrepreneur, you're the leader, you're the guy. You know, you're eventually it evolves into its own thing. That's the goal, but it has to start with a personality, and that's you. And so, dude,
but that goes to the delegation, right? So we can, as leaders, we can delegate authority, but not our responsibility as leaders. So I think the big thing that I've actually learned from you is like, or maybe reaffirmed and validated even more, is like the roles and responsibilities need to be very clearly laid out. Like that store manager reference you had given me, like what, that manager, right? And even though I don't have a storefront, like we do have that manager now role laid out, and you got to see that a little bit of it all day Saturday or yesterday in the course. And it's just like, it allows me to be freed up to do things, to go to the ER at 5 a.m. for my neck and not have to like stress out about, oh man, how's this going to happen? On a course day, like, and it's like the same reason, like why you're able to come out here for a couple of days, because you know that you have that management holding it down. Right. Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like I said, the day-to-day stress of all that is like, you're not supposed to need any credit or validation for anything. You're not supposed to be human much, you're just, you're always supposed to have the answers for, and so when you start to develop that over time, my point with the fanaticism is when I get stressed and I go, hey, I just need to get my mind off of so much just stuff, and, for like a few minutes or an hour. If I go into fantasy football or go into fanaticism of something,
it's not,
you're not resting much.
Resting.
You're not resting much. And then when it's time to go back to, I start procrastinating. Yeah. I'm like, man, I want to just scroll all day so that I don't have to go back to the things that I know I need to do in order to feel good, because I know what needs to get done.
Yeah, and then you'll rationalize as market research.
Yeah. So the answer. Stop wasting time. Get after those things you need to do that you're just avoiding because you're just thinking about them too much.
Did they ever use in the Navy? Did they ever use a term like during the heat categories where like you'd have to work for 50 minutes and then there's 10 minutes of a break, or depending on how hot it was? Did they ever do that?
Yeah, I think so.
They like Heat Cat 5 is like one of these, like the highest one. I bring that up because this conversation is reminding me about like this balance, and it could be hourly, it could be, morning and then afternoon, but high demand cognitive function and low demand cognitive function, and how you balance that. And if you 50-10, call it all 15 minutes of high demand with 10 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever, or it's 3 hours of high demand and then an hour of low demand.
Yes.
But it's like, what is the low demand cognitive function?
What are you doing during that? Because
fanaticism.
Yep.
Like, is that an actual word?
I think it is. I think it is. I'll feel silly if it's not a word.
That's possible. But
if you're spending time,
I understand.
Even if you're sitting down and you're like scrolling, you're not resting anything. You're not resting. Like, your mind's just still. It's your mind really that.
It also goes back to what you were saying about, like, working the bag over. if that could physically get you tired, but if it's not
mental
releasing, not just the physical, but the mental, and then the emotional, release that needs to happen, then it's just physically wearing you out. It's not
physically wearing you out, but you might feel actually rested after a good workout because your mind has not been distracted with stuff that is a waste of time or that's exhausting your mind still. Like even if
you're
watch
working
TV
a bag
at night,
over because you're like putting someone's face on that bag, is that really like, it's going to get you physically tired, but maybe feel you a little better, but it's not helping you.
No, and also like I think that's a myth. I think that if you're doing it that way, you're just you're just building up more tension.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like my point is that if you find moments like jujitsu too, like hitting a bag or jujitsu, like whatever your thing is, you're focused on something that's not wasting bandwidth, like mental bandwidth.
It is a word.
Yes.
Fanaticism. The quality of being fanatical, the dangers of religious fanaticism.
Yeah.
The dangers of fantasy football.
Dude, religious fanaticism. Good point. I read about another one of those, what do they call them? Like celebrity pastors or like Uber, like what's the word? Like
evangelical or
just these, like they run a big church. Basically, he's in trouble. He's wrapped up with a bunch of stuff. He's got like a $4 million house, a bunch of, amazing cars. And you're like, he's a pastor for mega church pastor, mega church. I just read another article. I'm like, that's to me, religious fanaticism. It's very easy for people to take scripture and take the word and transform it to fit their agenda, and his was obviously materialism. So
yeah, it's like radical.
It's a good example,
right? Like that's
of fanaticism.
Yeah, like that's also like a radicalized kind of belief, like radical extremism, like we combated for a long time.
Yeah,
overseas, it's but part of that is they're from a very young age, like just radicalized into that belief, so it becomes their belief it's not wrong, like it's
okay to be a fan and like things, but when it starts to turn into fanaticism, I think that's a pathway for evil.
Absolutely,
it doesn't always start that way. It's that one story. Me and my wife just watched this one the other night. That's the only time I watch TV is when it's time to wind down, and it's like, hey, let's she likes to watch murder on Dateline. Just entertainment. But what was the one I saw? That pharmaceutical, she started a pharmaceutical company. It was based off of, she wanted it to work. There's a bunch of research she conducted, but the drug or the medicine or the thing, it wasn't legit, to, what she was saying it was. There's another one also where this woman was like pretending to have cancer and developed like, products and a system of like health foods and practices for people, and then kind of blew up online. And then it came to find out that she never had cancer in the first place. Mm-hmm. And like those kind of stories are like a good cause can turn into fanaticism and then become evil pretty easily, because you just want it to work. You want it to happen. But, the dangers of fanaticism.
So don't be fanatical. No, it's just I think it's just the intention. It goes back to the intention of what you're doing something for, on social media, like, or fantasy football, or even with work. It's like just having putting words to it, because a feeling can get you so far, but it can also get you in a lot of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's blinding too. Where
I feel this in business. I've learned that, like, when I started, I'm a creative minded person. So the 5% of the build out of my brick and mortar business, for example, a cafe, bakery, coffee house, and ice cream creamery, took up 3 more months than we wanted to, but it took about 9 or 10 months to get done. But during that time, it was like 95% pain and 5% fun. Yeah. And that was only with anything creative. So the designs, that stuff, but going through it with for the wrong contractor for me, for sure. This was really difficult, but getting it done, getting it open. But, my point is that I've learned over time to get comfortable with numbers and accounting and living in the truth of that. Mm-hmm. And so with Fanaticism, some of these stories I was talking about, Starship just tried to pull up one. If you typed in like woman pharmaceutical company documentary fraud or something like that, I think it would pop up. This was a really interesting one. She got big time. There she is, Elizabeth Holmes. So we watched that one a while back. Super interesting. I think maybe started off as a good cause for something that she saw, and then turned into, well, even if this is not, just not seeing the truth in it, and just kept pressing on it through fanaticism to then, eventually be exposed as a huge fraud in biotech technology. But so my point is that, like, personally, I tie that to my personal life where I go, hey, just be comfortable with the truth more often. Hey, it looks like we're successful, but if we profited $1 million and our costs were $1,001, we're not that successful yet. Mm-hmm. We lost.
We're not profitable.
We're at a loss. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
doesn't mean you won't
that's
be.
the truth.
It's just like, No, I've had to learn that. I've had to learn that lesson too. Because like that's where the passion can also be very blinding. Like mm-hmm. if it's your profession, like the passion can. Like, well, it's bigger than, all these things. I mean, it has to, in order to be successful, like it's not philanthropy yet, right? That's the goal, is to be able to grow enough to be able to
That's
give.
the goal, yeah.
Just to give. But it has to start somewhere, man. So.
Yeah, it has to be tied to, passion has to be tied to truth, or it could turn into fanaticism or deception, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah,
there's a lot of people being deceptive about stuff, and I'm talking more specifically about businesses and things as I learn as I go. That because they're passionate, they let the passion of what they're doing carry past the truth in it, mm-hmm. And into deception, which is just not good. But a lot of people are successful that way.
Yeah,
it's tempting. There's so many opportunities to go astray. In my business with honesty and there's so many ways to fudge with numbers and different things and deals and taxes and just all the things. And it's so tough to stay really disciplined and make sure you go. When I feel a moment where somebody offers me something and it feels like I'm selling my soul for that thing, or that I'm sort of screwing somebody over to get that, the answer is no. I don't care how much money it is.
Yeah. Well, that is the devil's like primary tactic is deception. As an attack. Yeah. It's just deception, deceit, and destruction. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man. Where do we go from here? Oh, the training. What'd you think about the scenarios yesterday?
Dude, it was awesome. I've seen how it's evolved. And just personally, it's nice to see that for me, like as a company, whatever else, any other things you do outside of there's different revenue streams for most companies, especially in your industry or this industry, where it's like, hey, you've got some merch, you've got, some online presence, you got a YouTube channel, those things can all be monetized, your podcast, your things, but pretty rare from what I've experienced that none of those things, like the training doesn't drive towards those things, and there's nothing wrong with different people's business models at all, but I like that your actual passion is the training itself and getting it to more people because of this problem, this active shooter problem. Mm-hmm. You just saw it again, just the other day, and it's now ingrained in our cultural psyche for young people that are scrolling through TikTok and all the things that they get access to now just go, hey, when you're hurt or the world has hurt you, and you become a victim of the world, that the thing that you can do to hurt the most people on your way out, if that's what your goal is to go kill a bunch of people, Yeah. God, it's such a terrible problem. Right. Yeah. And then the whole battle between, we can't even really, it's delayed. The solutions that would work are delayed because socially we're just too at odds with blaming why that is now, why that exists now, whether it's because guns or because mental health. And it's like what I'm learning for structuring a board for a company is if you're not careful with the foundation of something like that, then later on, and this is based off of talking to people so I can learn, is that you might not even be able to agree on when to go to the bathroom, you know? So now I tie that to what I'm talking about. My point is that societally, we can't even agree on the right solution.
Yeah.
So, and then back to my point about you is that you care about that problem and that's what it's for. So your business is for the training and getting it to people that need it. You know, these guys I saw, I got to talk to a bunch of them as I was driving them back and forth through scenarios and go, why did you do this? You know, why did you pay an open enrollment to come take this course? And it's like, because they have the same passion for safety for kids, you know, and like, I didn't ask them what their opinions about guns were or about mental health. I was like, just like in my business, this is, dude, we have a company meeting, like a talk on Tuesday to sign a reset expectations now that we've shifted through the summer and into our fall crew and we've got all our new employees settled in. It's like, cool. I did this last year too, and it worked really well because there's little problems that keep happening. It's just, we need to level the expectations to go, hey guys, you guys all need to understand what we're here for and why we're doing this. And so in our day-to-day, there's always going to be a problem. Just like the active shooter problem for you. Like that's the problem, right? And why are we going to, I don't want anybody wasting time finding out whose fault it is when there's a mistake or a problem. Like somebody accidentally turned off the whole freezer that holds our pints, a couple $1,000s worth of ice cream. I don't care whose fault it is. That's just a mistake, you know? It's what's the solution, you know? Yeah. So that's what you're doing is like, you're driving towards the solution, Blu Bearing, you know, Blu Bearing solutions to a very specific problem. So that's a long answer, but it's refreshing to know that, like, I think that that's the best company for that out there right now, because you're not distracting that purpose for what you're doing with all the other things that you do in the business.
Yeah.
You know?
No, thank you, man. I said this yesterday, but it means a lot to hear that from you too, because I know exactly what you're saying. and that's the reality is, I've said this too, like, I don't know when it's going to happen, and it may never happen to you. The percentage, and I said this to all the students too. I was like, the likelihood is probably a 0.0001% that you are the one that's in the right place at the right time, but you're the right person, and you're going to leave this course with the confidence that you are, to actually stop the threat in an active shooter, just based on the percentages of it. And I can't tell you when and where it's going to be and why and exactly how, but I can use data, I can use experience to teach this and not be deterred from this mission, because I don't know when it's going to happen. And God forbid it does happen to you, but it's happening. And this it's not like when one of these attacks happen, it's like, oh, now we're going to pump up our active shooter. No, man, that's why we exist. It's on the training side. Like, that's why this company exists. So, and that's why we you know, a big takeaway for a lot of the students is like, well, I've never been presented where I have to not only stop the threat, but I have to also transition to stopping the dying. Yeah, man, the likelihood of using those skills is a lot higher than in your day to day, you know, coming up on a car accident, you know, or just trauma in itself. And it's more than just being able to physically protect. It's doing no harm, first and foremost, to yourself, and then learning how to love yourself and loving others. Like, that is what it means to be a protector, mind, body, and spirit. So,
second quick answer to that question. Yours might be the only one, because when we go train, what's the fun stuff? Both for students and cadre, it's the CQB part of it. Yeah. Man, it's like, it's so cool. You can make cool videos out of it. I feel cool because I'm doing CQB.
Well, it's teamwork, team sport, man. It's like, it's fun.
That's the fun part. Like in football, you see the plays. That's the fun part. You don't see all the other stuff around what it takes to get really good at that. But my point is that you guys, that the CQB part is only half of the course, right? The fun part up to the point where the threat is eliminated or the threat is stopped, is it doesn't stop with that. There's a whole bunch of other stuff after there's still danger there once first responders are going to start showing up. If the problem was solved by a civilian or somebody who's not just going to stand around, and has the ability to do so, there's so much more. It's like stop the threat, stop the bleeding, get a collection point going the best you can, because the next thing is law enforcement, first responders are going to start showing up, and you need to know and feel what a deconfliction is like. So there's not any more, you don't have accidental things happening because, it's
dangerous, man.
And you've done a lot of work to get them ready for that. So it doesn't stop when the threat's done in your course, which is, I like that part of it.
Yeah. And I
stop the bleeding.
One of the biggest things that over
save people's lives.
The past couple of months is like with the training director, like being able to he's been able to extract so much information from me and we're putting it to paper. And not that I hadn't done some of that before, but I just was doing too much, period. But that's where I believe that this course was the most efficient course we've ever ran and the most consumable. And I got to see it in the call-outs, right? In the force on force scenario, because everyone learned from different mistakes they were making. Everyone made mistakes. That's the whole point. But I just think like being able to realize, okay, let's focus on this, and this, like for this course, and then let's offer an advanced one next year, like a 3-day version. Because I would just my heart is in the right place. I would just put everything I could into one 2-day course, and I'm like, and it was too much. And now, I've been starting to tailor that down, for a while, but then to be able to put it to paper and to rehearse it at the level we did before we executed the training, it was longer days, but man, it's going to make everything so much more fluid, and us be able to actually, progress people, focusing on solo actions. Almost a majority of all the CQB training was solo, and then they did convergence, deconfliction, with an instructor as twos at the end of the day. And then day 2, like starting them with the breath work, the stop the bleed training, and then a paper target scenario where the students converge with stimulus, and then putting them into the actual like force on force scenario. It was beautiful, man.
It's really good, man. Yeah. It's evolved, and on an entrepreneurship level, like, because we're going through the same sort of experience of starting up our things, like maybe we're just past it, now I have another one kicking off. But, the point is that the first year or 2 years of being opening, or starting is so hard, you, and I can see with you is like, but it takes that time to figure things out and get good through all of the struggles that you're going to go through as the entrepreneur, as the leader, as the guy, as kind of like the brand, until it starts to develop its own personality, but nobody understands how hard that is, except for you or another guy or somebody else, a guy or girl who's starting a business or a thing and realizing how hard that first couple of years is. Like, you're doing everything. Yeah. So like the goal is like, you can't grow it or do anything else or improve it or evolve it, especially at the level that you have when you're doing everything yourself. And so as you learn that and figure it out, and you start to develop your systems, and it starts to free you up bandwidth wise to then go do exactly what you're saying is, man, that's awesome. So I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like in another year from now. Huh?
So I can go do more podcasts.
Yeah. So you can do the things you want to do, which was the point of starting your business, was for freedom, for me, be free. So there's nothing wrong with evolving and pushing towards that as quickly as you can through what you learn,
Yeah. Well, thank you for helping out yesterday, man. It truly is just incremental growth and delegation of the authority piece of hey man, this is your role and this is your authority because it's your responsibility, right? It's not delegation of something that I'm responsible for, but putting ultimately the whole company I'm responsible for, but being able to delegate like those positions with specific like responsibilities is so important.
You have to. You just have to. Yeah. But honestly, You're welcome. But it was a little selfish for me too. And even what I told Jess, because she's like, hey, now this thing's kicking off. You can't go do anything outside. And I was like, no, I know, you're right. I got to simplify, but I got to go do this. Well, but it's the reason why it's a little selfish because like I got to stay current. So like, it's the best way for me to stay current is to come help you out sometimes too. So I actually thank you also for that. So I'm like, man, there's no better friend or guy that I know that can help me stay current.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. You got a rifle behind your head for it too. Do it at the
Thank you guys.
Cafe too.
Yeah. I can go, dude. I like these rifles. I can go teach my kids now. We don't have to use the Nerf guns anymore.
Great way to start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or to progress.
Home defense.
Yeah. The what was that slide that's up there?
But I need it
at the cafe.
Yeah, it's amazing. I made that room into like another seating area. When we get really busy, we kind of get packed. We got 40 seats, and like I needed in a quieter area for people to work, just another little nook.
Where's that? In the cafe.
You go in the main seating area, and then as you go towards the bathrooms, there's another little seating area.
Oh, okay.
And so I just updated it. I got a mural painted on the wall. We call it the ocean room because of the color of the other opposing wall. And so now it's just themed that way. I've got a bunch of shark pictures, cool high definition shark pictures from a friend of mine in Florida. Jake shoots stuff.
Oh,
if you're looking for prints, but yeah, she did that whole thing.
Oh yeah, so it's through that archway.
Yeah, that's her thing right there.
Yeah, I know.
If you need a mural or art, Megan Valentine Artworks.
Dude, that's cool.
It's sick.
She did a great job.
It's way better than I even envisioned.
Does she travel?
I'm sure she would.
That'd be cool to do some stuff at the building. Right? Right? Is that okay?
Yeah, it's cool. People dig it. So thank you, Megan.
Oh, great job. Yeah, I'll hit you up.
Yeah.
That's cool. How much time do we have left on? 5 minutes? Ooh.
Oh, you're talking watches or anything?
So
else? You don't
have
to.
I'm sorry, dude. I got to do this, but yes, watches. But
whatever you want. Yeah.
After the Zyn Toss.
Okay. Something fun.
Yep.
What's a Zyn Toss? What is that?
It's a Zyn. It's a 6 milligram coffee Zyn.
Oh, can I have one? It's coffee.
I don't have
just coffee.
It's just coffee. So you're gonna open your mouth. I'm gonna toss this thing, dude. And if it goes in,
open your mouth.
Abre su boca.
Is that why you're laughing?
If it goes in, you have to keep it for 5 minutes.
All right.
But only if it goes in.
Is it like dip where like
it's
I'm
nicotine.
Gonna puke?
Yeah, maybe.
It has nicotine?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
It's got coffee and nicotine.
Coffee flavored nicotine.
Dude, I am gonna puke.
Yep. Turn your hat around for me though.
Turn my head.
Your hat.
I was like, how am I gonna catch it?
This is a tradition.
All right.
We're gonna keep it going. Ready?
Dude.
Oh, he tried to catch it, dude. Yes.
I wasn't supposed to?
No, but we'll get another chance on the bonus episode. So
I love it. I don't know how I'm supposed to catch it when you beamed it at my forehead.
Yeah. Yeah, my throat keeps getting worse. So but let's talk watches though before we really
watches.
Cool. Yeah.
I brought it up, I think, because one, aren't you you're doing
can you go ahead and pull that photo I sent you too?
You're doing a watch, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so
quick story. A couple weeks ago, I got back my team watch that we got in the squadron. That's yours, but I had just like busted it up over the years, so I needed to get it. It's a Vermont Supermarine silver, so it's got like a lot of cool little, couple little cool customizations on it. But anyway, I just did a little post because I was really excited to get it back, and that kind of kicked off an unintentional, like one of the. I think of the internet and everything as like and social media is like negative sometimes, but there's goodness that comes out of it. So it kind of kicked off a bunch of people posting their watches and like a wrist check. You know, a lot of cool, especially in military law enforcement. We're all watch fans. Yeah, different kinds of watches. So I like watches. I don't have a huge collection. I got a couple decent ones, but I do like them, and so that was cool. But what happened with that is that, over in the UK, the Stirling timepiece guys hit me up and said, we're going to send you a watch. And I was like, oh yeah, those are awesome. You know, I've been wanting one of those. You know, another cool brand that I have one that I need to get repaired, but it's cool. I love it. Is a Sangen's another good one. You know, I like the Marathon watches, the Canadian brand. And, you know, I've had my watches that I'm going to give to my boys. I got a Seamaster or Planet Ocean that my wife got me for an anniversary, and then I've got this one. So it's like, I'm going to hand those off at some point. Yeah. So I'm just build a little collection of cool ones, but they sent me one, and I was like, you know, you don't have much time to like do deliverables or anything. We're like, no, just wear it if you like them. Pick one. Which one do you like? They were so cool about it. I was like, I like that one. Is that one? And it was like the best one they have. I was like, I'm just going to throw it out there. You said it. I like that one. Dude, they sent it, and I just thought, hey, instead of just unboxing it and doing a little video, you know, for them, because I am excited about it. It's going to be my daily EDC for, you know, the next indefinite future, because they're such cool, rugged, dependable watches, you know, especially for military type guys and things that we do.
Jay Cal does a lot with Stirling.
He does?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The UK.
Yeah. I got a bunch of buddies doing awesome things. Jimmy Hill and these guys, Sid and Scott are you know, they're dropping there's a cool documentary that I got to participate in that's dropping soon. So I'm friends with them. Mm-hmm. You know, he's a special forces guy over there. You know, obviously I think that the unit and us as well always had, you know, one or two of those guys augmenting with us, you know, and deploying with us. And so I've got just really tight friends over there. The Through Dart guys, their brand is coming to the United States. That's a really cool, special forces sort of UK, you know, created brand, veteran owned brand.
Do they do clothing too, Through Dart?
What's that?
Do they clothing too, or is it?
Just they're a clothing brand, apparel
hit
brand.
Me about something in the past, but
awesome stuff. Yeah, so I think that they are coming to the United States with a version of that.
Okay.
Like a branch or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
So anyway, they sent this, and I just figured, hey man, instead of unboxing this, it was so hard to do because I want to open it and wear it with my iPhone. I was like, I'm going down to Kyle's show. Maybe we can talk about watches. Yeah. And I'd rather unbox it on here, you know?
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Just because of that, you'll never know, man. Post your watch. Stirling Timepieces. How do I show this?
Like towards that camera.
Boom. Unboxed. So thank you guys for the watch. Can't wait to wear it for everything. Bam.
Nice packaging.
Awesome packaging. Let me make sure I can remember which one this is.
And the name of
the model.
Yeah.
And dude, they were cool. Look.
So for the listeners, Chris is struggling to undo the wristband.
Yeah, it's got plastic and stuff wrapped around it, but bam.
That's sleek, man.
That's
pretty.
Nice, dude. Black on black.
Yeah.
I think it's the Jarvis black.
Let me see it before you put it on. I just want to take a look at it.
Yeah. Man, it's nice to get cool stuff from people. NATO band.
Yeah, that's a good looking timepiece. Yeah.
What's this? Well, look at that. Black metal bracelet too. Oh yeah, I got to get that on there.
All three.
Yeah. You know what's cool about this is I'm looking forward to. I'm finally reaching a point in my business too, where really soon here I'm going to be able to just send care packages of ice cream to people and just go, hey, just send the product, you know, to different people. That'll be part of the dream.
Get a lot of money on eBay.
Nice, dude. This is awesome. Boom. This is sick.
Yeah, that's a nice looking watch.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, so like, no, that's a really good looking watch, Stirling. Stirling Timepieces. Check them out. But
my new EDC.
Yeah,
to be my
dude,
EDC.
I can't wait to hear how you feel about it. It definitely feels like
it feels great,
very, like form fitted, for the wrist. Got that band.
Oh yeah.
But the Blu Bearing, we're gonna do a limited release watch with Nomadic. They're out of Belfast in Ireland, and that's the one that I have on right now. It's the Mirai 401, so it's their basic kind of dive watch, but so the price point's really good, and this is like an everyday wear, right? So an everyday carry, but doing this Blu Bearing edition where it's got the hex or the kind of star as a part of the Blu Bearing logo at the 12 o'clock position, kind of as our bearing, and then the blue second hand. I haven't decided on the black or the white face, but maybe leave us a comment on which one you like better.
I like the white one.
You like the white one? Do you?
I'm gonna need one of those. It's gonna be a hard decision between the black face or the polar face or whatever you call that face.
We should do a poll on it. But the intention with this is to get do a pre-sale, right? Once we slap the table on which color face we're gonna do, and then my hope is that you'll be able to have them whenever the pre-sale launches. It'll be open for a month, maybe. I'm hoping by October we can get the pre-sale going, and then that way you can have it as a Christmas gift if you buy it for yourself or for someone else. But it's not going to break the bank. So I'm not going to say what the price exactly going to be, but I don't want to misspeak it. But anywhere from I think $1,000 to $1,500. So it's not like a break the bank, but a nice daily wear kind of thing. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you for the team at Nomadic for being open to doing this, but I really do think I think it's a wonderful watch. I wear it every day. It's like just an everyday wear. It's a great there's a great action in it. It's an awesome company. I look forward to getting out there and visiting with Erica sometime in Ireland, in Belfast. Maybe we'll do that for the part of the release or something. We'll see.
Yeah, those look awesome. I like how the bright blue pops on the face.
Yeah, the second hand is pretty.
For the Stirling, I was right. It's the Jarvis Black. They run for about $650, and this thing feels awesome. It's going to be my EDC for a while. It's going to be my new EDC right now.
Cool. No, that's a beautiful looking watch.
Yeah.
Because I'm not I like a nice watch, man, but in most cases, I found myself wearing this one more often daily than I have ever wore, like any of the tags that I have. But I normally just wear a Garmin, like GPS, watch. It tracks all the different things through the day from like a fitness perspective too, and from a navigation perspective. But I find myself wearing this Nomadic a lot more daily too.
Yeah,
just it's not too gaudy. It doesn't like, I don't know.
Yeah. So now that I'm excited about it, I'm gonna go do another little post and see if it kicks off another internet wrist check, and then you'll see it and you'll be like, "Hey, dude, we need to send you one."
Oh, Sterling. Man, but you nailed that on the head, man. Like it's man, it's awesome when companies are like, "Hey, we want to send you some stuff." I'm like,
"Yeah,
cool." I don't really know if I have the time to support what you actually want from me. Like what is it you want from me?
Yeah, well, I mean, like,
not that they
want there's some deliverables for it, or
help,
especially,
but being honest about like that out the gate is huge. Because hey, man, yeah, we want to send you one of these, man. No strings attached. It's like
that's what they did, and I was like, dude, that's how now. Like they don't know really what that meant too. For me, is like, man, as an entrepreneur, I'm gonna be that way too. I'm gonna be like, hey, there's gonna be a certain amount of budget that I have that I can just go, hey, we got a new flavor out in the stores of ice cream. I need to send it to this list of people. Just ship it out. It's like that. Just being able to do that is part of
55
the dream. The dream in my mind, where if you reach a point in your company or your business that you can do that, that's part of the dream.
We'll put a freezer in the
Yeah, keep a freezer.
Yeah, 55 leaks thing, be on that list.
Yeah, because then I can start doing. I'm doing it in a way that's similar to this industry of things, where I go, man, there's a little bit different if I go, hey, there's a new ice cream flavor coming out. I'm going to hype it up. It'll drop in the stores, but before it drops in the stores, I can get it out to people, to try first. It's going to be fun.
So wrist check. Yeah, so I think that's a good spot to wrap it up. Hope you enjoyed this episode of the Blk Blu Podcast with our guest host, Chris Fettes. Definitely check out the bonus episode that'll be coming out next week. We're going to go a little deeper into a couple different things with Chris and I, and have to thank our sponsor of the podcast, ROKA Eyewear. Thank you for everything. Thank you for helping us with this podcast and for having a far superior product than anything else out there. So thank you for that. Thank you for all your support. We're just going to keep doing it, man. But look forward to continuing to grow this podcast. We got a ton of different guest hosts coming up and special guests. I know Erica and Starship are working that stuff through right now. But let's just all continue to podcast.
And I'm grateful I get to be here sometimes to co-host with you, man. I'm really honored.
Yeah.
I'm really honored.
Thank you. Are we still recording? Yes.